Hey guys. So, as you know, I went to see Celine Dion for the third time in the Toyota Center in Houston. It's the first time she's been back to this the city in about 10 years, which of course was the first time I ever saw her in concert. And it was for her Courage World Tour, which was her new album that came out a couple of months ago. And they included a copy of the CD when I purchased the tickets, which is kind of a nice promotion. It seems like a smart idea, and as I've joked a couple of times, you spend $1,200 on concert tickets, so, they can spring for a CD. We invited my sister-in-law Holly and went with the group. Strag came with me, and a friend of Holly's, because we had a plan to go as a foursome, and before the show, we went and had dinner at a Vietnamese restaurant not far from the venue. We decided to make an evening of it, so Holly recommended a Vietnamese restaurant that we all kind of really enjoyed. They had the wonton soup, which had the little strips of pork in it. Our local Chinese food place used to make it like that, except sometime a couple of years ago, I guess they switched to chicken. And it's not like they're bad. It's still a good soup, but it's not as good as it used to be. And at least ever since my childhood, every place I've gotten wonton soups has had those little strips of pork in it, and it's like it really kind of seems like that just makes the soup. When they took that away at the local Chinese food place, it just kind of lost something. Um, we parked in the parking garage, and there was a lot of attendance to direct people to their seats. I mean, they obviously do this kind of thing a lot. So they have at pretty much every possible intersection, just show somebody your ticket and they'll tell you where to go. And we were seated on the left hand side of the relative arena. The stage was on our left. There was no pre-show, but for an hour they focused on the audience members, and I swear, I mean, some of these people, they must have thought they were strippers or something. They're flashing parts, and it's like, I don't know. So I could see how it might be fun to see yourself on the Megaplex or Megatron or whatever you want to call the big screens or something, but personally would prefer to be dignified rather than be trying to try out my stripper moves. But that's just me. Um, the stage arrangement was pretty cool. I thought that they had a big, I guess a big like LCD screen or something behind her, and other than that, there was like a bunch of smaller supportive screens which would all display things. They had some lights on the stairs that were kind of designed to complement the visuals on behind her, and they had sort of like, I guess, a two-level stage, one level higher up where the band was in the back, and then a lower level up front, which was set down by about a foot and a half, and there was kind of, I guess, what you would call wings on either side of the stage for her to go out and stand on. Unlike the last show, which was like a 360-degree experience, this was more of a traditional stage set on one side of the arena. And for the most part, the song breakdown, she did a lot of her classic favorites, which, I appreciate. But considering it was called the Courage World Tour, I'd honestly expected more songs from her new album. She only did about two songs from the new one, the titular song Courage, and my favorite song from the album, Imperfections, which I was glad she did. But most of the rest of them were songs she had performed classically before, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it just kind of surprised me that it wasn't more of an even split. I'd hope that she would do the song from the Deadpool soundtrack, Ashes, because I would love to hear that live. But, she didn't do that one. I kind of thought there was a small chance she might do it, but, no luck there. She did a couple of medleys, a lot of her classic songs, a couple of new things. But, it's a mostly good show. I guess the only two downsides was that she did smoke effects, which, kind of after a while got to my right eye especially. It kept on tearing up, and it didn't seem to go away for a few hours after the show. And the other thing is when the person to my left stood up, they blocked my entire view. It's like I couldn't see anything of the show at that point. Now, fortunately, it only happened a few times. The first two songs, which, I said something and they didn't really seem all that concerned about the fact that they were blocking me. And, one song later that I just wanted to listen to anyway, so I just kind of closed my eyes and just listened. And, the last song of the concert, which everybody kind of stood up anyway. So, I mean, it really wasn't that bad. It was just one of those things that annoyed me a little bit. overall, I had a good experience. Would totally go back for a fourth concert if she comes back to Houston, or if the opportunity arises. Because Celine Dion is one of the few musical artists that I really respect. I like what she does, and I think she's a great person. So any opportunity I would get, she's definitely one of those folks on my short list for people I would pay to see. Well, that's it for now, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. You can also find me on Twitter and a few other places on the web, or support me via Patreon or Ko-fi. Zebra hugs!